Yeah, mofos.
Cocksucking son of a bitch, motherfucker. Yeah.
That's now my new ringtone. Thanks. Paul.
Transformers.
So this is our meetup podcast for San Antonio and Austin meetup. And guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank to the guys on the call. Thanks for joining. First, we have Cole and DesRosiers. Cole, how do you say your last name?
DesRosiers.
Wow, that was way off. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Everyone that tries to pronounce it just gives up. It's like, how do you pronounce it? Very rarely I've had someone actually pronounce it correctly.
Well, good. I guess I'm average, which is exactly what they told me in school. Well, tell me about yourself. Tell us about who you are and about the group that you're part of.
Well, pretty much I'm Cole. Just what got me started in Transformers was pretty much G2 all the way back when that started out. So got into that and just slowly fell away from it as I grew up. And it wasn't until I found out they were making the live action movie in 2007 when I got back into it. And the group I'm part of is CyrbertronZ Elite. We were established in 2011, so we've been a group for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Been able to actually get up to BotCon as a group, and that's where Paul ran into us once before. Besides going to some of the local group, not the groups. I'm sorry, the
Toy shows.
Toy shows. There you go. Trying to make sure it wasn't going to say flea markets, but Anyway, but yes, we've slowly been growing, slowly losing people, so it's just a up and down battle.
Do you notice that every time the movies come out that there is a surge in interest to the group, or has that kind of waned as the movies have continued?
The movies that really didn't show an impact as far as us as a group. It's just more of local people or people from Austin, Houston, Dallas, just noticing us from us either passing out our cards or little events or what have you. I mean, we tried to make it a point to go see the movie for at least once as a group. We've done it twice already with Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. I'm sorry, scratch that. Dark of the Moon and then the most recent Age of Extinction.
Cool. Do y'all usually walk out of there as a group completely disappointed, or do y'all usually walk out saying, well, that was something?
Yeah, we walk out like, holy crap, that was crazy. A couple days go by, holy crap, what were we thinking? The next day is like, I can't believe I watched it. But I mean, that's what got me back into it. I enjoy the movies for what they are. It's like, for instance, for the Turtle remake, I went in as an entertainment value. Came out kind of satisfied, but going in with a low expectation.
What is one memory of Transformers that you have as a kid? Like what stands out? What stands
out was one Christmas. I remember waking up Christmas morning. We're walking out, seeing one of those old school vinyl play tents, with the PVC pipes and whatnot, going inside it and seeing the G2 Optimus Prime sitting there out of the box, just waiting for me. I think that's probably one of the most memorable.
That's really cool. So your parents opened your toy for you?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm an opener. Just to let you know, I'm an opener. Everything I get, I open. But,
and do you blame that?
No, that's just how I am. I'm more of a hands-on person. I like to see how things have worked, how the engineering goes, that sort of thing. But there are some stuff that I have not opened.
Yeah,
if you can believe that.
No, I can believe that. I still have my MP10 that I bought from Toys R Us still in the package, so I'm right there with you. There's some things that just need to stay in the package.
My Year of the Horse is like that. My MP10, he came out of the box, and he's in the box right now in storage.
Well, cool. Well, man, I'm glad you're able to join us.
Thanks for
I think
having
it's Yeah, no problem. I think it's great that we were able to get together from Austin and from San Antonio, and I wanted to be able to mainly talk about that tonight and other things that happened. But the fact that we were able to make that happen, and actually, I think that's you and Paul really worked on that. I know Cole, that I talked to you a little bit, but I know Paul and you were really the ones that got the ball rolling on this. So.
Yeah, that was more of early January when. Actually, I'm sorry. No, it was it was before that. When I just noticed you guys were meeting up, and I saw it on the TFW boards, and that's when I got in contact with Paul about it. And that's when some of y'all decided to come down for the Texas Collectors Expo and the Ekman's Toy Show. And then I met up with Paul, Josh, and a couple other y'all at one of the local pubs, and we started talking. And that's when I decided, hey, let's try to get everybody together. And I was just, to be honest, I was completely shocked and surprised about how many people showed up. I mean, I was floored that able to work with Paul and get that the way it turned out. I was ecstatic.
Yeah. Well, Paul, thanks to you also, man. I really appreciate your pushing that and making it happen. So, and on top of that, thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks for being on this podcast tonight. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how it is you got into Transformers, and what stands out to you from your childhood.
Well, I got into Transformers with the G1 series. That's what I grew up with. I guess most memorable, as far as the toys go, is Christmas morning getting Skywarp, which is where all my usernames come from, if you haven't noticed those.
No, not at all.
I just, I fell in love with the character. Black and purple color scheme. I just love it, and which is why I tend to lean more towards Decepticons. But yeah, I just love that figure. It amazed me as a kid, and I loved it. And I didn't have too many Transformers growing up. I did have Jetfire. That was one of my favorites also. But as I grew up, I don't have any of my Transformers left except for Goldbug. That's the only one I have left that was original for me. Otherwise, the movie stood out the most to me. Of course, the animated 1986 movie.
The only movie.
The what?
The only movie?
Yes.
The only true movie.
The one true movie.
The only real movie.
the one true movie to bring us all and in the darkness bind us.
Yes, exactly.
I've been reading Lord of the Rings, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that was just such a great movie, despite the fact that, so many heroic characters and Decepticons died, That just was hard as a kid to understand that, they would just kill these guys off.
Death was the actual thing.
Yeah. And the fact that they died so easy, even as a kid, I was like, throughout the first 2 seasons, they would get shot and whatever and nothing would happen. And all of a sudden in the movie, they just one single shot and they die. I don't know, seemed kind of silly to me, but I still enjoyed the movie. So yeah, those are, I guess, the biggest things that stand out to me as a Transformers fan.
Cool. All right. Sorry, I picked up I finally got a Combiner Wars Megatron, and I just picked him up and flipped his gun around, and that's when you ended. And I thought, oh wait, I wasn't ready to respond.
No rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Okay,
I'm trying it, but I'm surrounded by toys. I have all my toys that I just bought recently. This Megatron's cool. Anyway, I walk away from him. It's the Great Transformers Reset of 1986. Josh posted that on his from our Texastron group. He posted that on his page, on his personal Facebook page, about how all these guys died and how it traumatized them. I remember seeing that on VHS. I don't remember being traumatized. I just remember thinking, okay, well, he's gone. but at the same time, I was probably 6 years old, and I don't know. It never really bothered me that happened. I don't know
Well, I think
why.
the biggest concern was more so on the parents than anything. Is especially the kids. Optimus Prime can't die. That's one big thing. But the other thing was just how I want to say probably how violent it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm too young to know because I was born right when the movie came out, so I have no idea. I could be just talking out my butt. I have no idea. So, but that's what it would seem to me is there's more of a parental reaction than anything.
Yeah. So it's interesting. A lot of people say that stood out, but of all the people that I've asked though in a recorded medium, Paul, you're the first person to actually say that. That's what really stood out to me when they killed everybody off.
Yeah, I mean it's really true. I mean, and the funny thing is I grew up on horror movies, death and stuff, in those movies, although at the time, I was scared, but it didn't impact me like this movie did because I cared for these characters, Yeah. So it's different when it's something you care for that you lose.
Yeah. Well, the next person we have is Josh, who you've been on several of our podcasts at this point. So thanks for, Josh Bell, thanks for joining us again tonight.
Yeah, you bet. I was like, I'm not going to talk forever about myself because I'm a podcast regular at this point.
Yeah.
Being number 3 in, so.
Wait,
have I asked you? Have I asked you about a memory, like something that stands out? Give me that real quick. Give us that.
The memory that stands out, I would guess. I mean, it's pretty typical. It's Christmas morning, and
when isn't it Christmas morning?
Yeah, it's Christmas morning with Transformers. It's going to see the movie. The movie shaped. I would say shaped some of my views on things even to this day. How to do what's right,
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 2 standout things.
Cool. All right. Well, we already talked about. I didn't put it down on the topic list, but I did want to talk about how the meeting came about, and we already talked about that pretty much. So I'll go ahead and skip over it, unless there was something else that you guys wanted to talk about. How the meeting and the meetup came about. Was there anything else that wasn't mentioned?
I think it was just more so just knowing that there's 2 cities that like the same stuff. Might as well try to get them both together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's funny. We talked about this at the meetup about how when everyone sat down, we were divided by cities.
Yeah.
And
it was like a high school lunch. You had your one group over one side, the other group at the other side. So it's kind of awkward. The whole high school, middle school dance awkwardness.
Oh, that's bound to happen for the first one. I mean, until people really get to know each other.
Of course.
Maybe at the next one we can have a get to know you type game.
And that's how we started too, because those was actually a funny thing. It was 13 of us that got started because we met up on the TFW boards. We tried to do the meetup in the Ekman's Toy Show here in San Antonio, and first time we tried to do it, didn't work out. Then we finally got it organized, and we're pretty much just sitting there, hands between our legs, just kind of not knowing who's who. It wasn't until after a few meets started going through, and that's when everybody started getting comfortable. And I think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah,
agreed.
I would say at our Austin meetup, the first one we had was everybody was very active and talkative, and I think we all just clicked first right off the bat. Maybe because we've been talking online so long, but that's just I remember talking to Steve, and I told Steve at the first meetup that I am a mold collector. I don't collect more than one mold, which turns out now that I'm really into collecting, I blew that one out of the water. And he's always reminding me of the first time he met me at the meetup. He rubs that in my face. So it felt like our first meetup really just went gangbusters, and everybody started talking, and there was no silence. There was no school dance feeling. So I think we got lucky with that one.
Well, it usually. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, I was like, our meeting had something that most meetings don't. Because the basis for our meeting was the Facebook group, And the Facebook group being a private group, it had to be you had to know somebody to get in.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Right.
everybody knew somebody else. It was a social network.
Yeah.
Oh, the way ours worked out was we'd see someone say like Toys R Us or here or there, or find them on the group on the TFW page and just say, hey, we're having this date, this meetup, this location. Feel free to come down. And that's how most of us started doing. I mean, at first, well, you kind of not quite non-talkative, but like you guys, things click because we talked every now and then online,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what slowly became a family, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, so talking about this meetup that we just had, was it a week ago? It's last Saturday,
Exactly
right?
a week ago, yeah.
Anybody? What was y'all's first impressions of the meetup? How it went, et cetera, et cetera?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good meetup. I wish I guess the only thing I wish would have been a little bit different was maybe the setup of the tables. It was so long. It's hard to mingle with everyone.
Right.
I like the layout at slabs where the tables are in front of each other, and they're also kind of they're bar high tables, so it's a little bit easier to look at stuff and talk to people about stuff that way.
Yeah, that's kind of how when we do our meetups, we do it at a place called Line in the Rose pub, and they have a special party room, which tables are not like the ones that we just saw at the rail yard. There was more of a back-to-back, not back-to-back, side-to-side along each wall, and it's still in a tight vicinity where you can hear everybody, talk to everybody, and see what all's going on. No one's really left out, so to speak.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to do to this, another meetup, just try to do a place that will accommodate 30 plus guys and 10 pounds, 200 pounds of transformer plastic.
Yeah. Josh,
whatever Eddie decides to bring.
Actually, I'm sorry, Cole. So how many different locations did y'all go through before you finally settle on the place you are at now?
At first, we tried to keep it central in the city, so we hit places up like Freebirds, place called Chester's Hamburgers. We did, for the longest time, we did a place called Porky's. Nice burger joint, had a nice sized room that accommodated all of us, and we were doing that place for almost 2 years until the location that we were using shut down. So we just settled on Line in the Rose because it was easy to accommodate us, decent sized room to accommodate our sized group, and we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to move away from that and try to find a bigger place.
Yeah. We had a place called Mr. Tramp's, which we went there I think twice, maybe, or once, I forget. But it's a great place. But the problem is it's a full on bar, a sports bar, and so they cater to everything from what is it, soccer. They even do rugby tournament or rugby shows, everything. And so it's really hard, but it was such a nice place, but it just didn't work out. So I'm really glad we have Slabs. I think it's working out wonderfully. And I'm glad that we're still meeting at Slabs on the 28th. So I'm excited about that. I won't be able to go, but I'm excited that we're still able to meet there. So what about the food and all that? Did y'all appreciate the food at Rail Yard?
The food was good. It was delicious.
Yeah.
I was most surprised about it. I mean, even though I read some of the reviews when I booked it, reviews were coming back good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only issue that we ran into was something that we've been discussing as our group was the manager. When we tried to book it for the next meetup, he wasn't too pleased. He was saying that we were, quote unquote, over capacity, which they said is 25 people for a large group.
Mm-hmm.
And we're discussing that if he had that much of an issue, he should have stepped in and said, I don't feel, if you guys can move outside to free up some room inside.
Yeah.
So we don't see what his ordeal or issue was with us. I mean, I could kind of see it with the wheeling and dealing with Eddie,
Mm-hmm.
loitering, but we weren't really affecting their business. We gave them close to $500, if not more, in business for their dead hour.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we always try to hit. You hit that dead hour when there's very few patrons coming in for food and such like that. So
Exactly.
Really, really wish that a lot of these, because we had the same issue at a couple of our places. I really wish these managers would be willing to step up a little bit more and say, "Hey guys, here's what I'm looking at right now. Tell us."
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want to work with them as much as they want us there for spending money and such. It doesn't work out if you don't have lines of communication.
Exactly.
That's the truth of all life. So unfortunately, that didn't happen this time around. So
Yeah, because I would have loved to have it there. I mean, it's nice, centralized location.
yeah,
It was good food, ample space. I mean, even outside had ample space. So that was a nice venue. It's just the manager, because the staff was more than gracious.
yeah.
It's just
The staff was really good. I went looking for our server when it was time for money to exchange hands.
right.
And I walked right up to him. He's like, "You ready for your ticket?" I said, "Yes, I am." He walked off, got the ticket, and it was wonderful. So I was happy with that. But I can appreciate the manager saying overcapacity. And I think that's just the way that things happen when you get a large group of fanboys together for anything. You're going to run into number issues.
And that's what I was trying to avoid, something like that.
Mhm.
So that I was just trying to say, hey, trying to get pretty much information, trying to get an exact number, because I was telling him I'm expecting 10 to 15.
Yeah. How many do we have a number of?
I want to say it was close to 30, if not more.
Yeah,
Because you had people who brought either their significant other, or you had people who brought their children.
Yeah, I brought my nephews.
So,
I brought my nephews, and they were digging through people's boxes without asking. I'm like, what are you doing?
No.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, they were digging through boxes, but when it came time to actually pick things up, they wouldn't do it, and they were afraid to do that. So,
oh, that's good.
yeah, they know, because when they come into my place, they're like, "Okay, well, we're not going to pick this up." I said, "That's right, you're not going to pick that one up. At least not without me standing here." So,
because you won't see the next day tomorrow.
yeah, that's true. Was there? Do y'all feel there was an overabundance of toys on display? Because I think that's something that can be detrimental to the meetup, is when there's an overabundance. I think there was a good amount of toys, not too many, not too few. So what do y'all think on that? Was there an overabundance? Was there an underabundance of toys?
I don't think there was an over or underabundance. One, we did agree on doing the whole Megatron type deal, because Megatron was released pretty much that month or that week.
Yeah.
In mass here in Texas. So I mean, I think it was reasonable. That's kind of what we started doing. We had stuff that we recently acquired, so we bring it in, show off. Because one of the guys was before, we were all just mainstay, Hasbro, Takara, that sort of lot. And then one of the guys was more of a third party guy, so he'd bring his third party stuff in and let us, manhandle them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what got us hooked on third party.
Paul, did you take your Blingatron?
I did take my Blingatron.
That's right. I remember seeing it now. I had forgotten about that. Josh, were you able to bring anything to that meetup?
He stepped away.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I actually thought there was an underabundance of toys. I guess at our Austin meetups, there seems to be a little bit more than what we had at the San Antonio Austin meetup.
Yeah. But I will agree with that. Our Austin meetups, we bring, you talk about a ton of plastic. We have a ton of plastic.
You can never have enough.
Yeah. Well, and
plastic crack is what's going to get you.
that's true. Well, and I've even voiced the opinion that, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell people don't bring them, but I voiced the opinion that sometimes I feel there's a little too much plastic at our meetups. But it's fun. We enjoy it. And as long as the location doesn't complain, I'm not going to sit here and say don't bring stuff. So
Right, and that's understandable, and that's kind of what we do. Like I stated before, most of the time, some of the guys just bring a box full of stuff that they're unloading. So sometimes we'll wheel and deal right there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just either recent acquires or just some of the newer stuff that someone. Okay, well, one of the guys our last meetup, someone brought a Prometheus, and so we were able to look at that. The new. I think it was the DX9, Astro Train, some of the newer stuff that some of us aren't able to acquire or has to show some interest in that we would want to try to, see if we want to purchase it or if we just want to see how it is in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything else y'all want to mention about this meetup that we had?
I was just, like I said before, I'm freaking surprised how well it turned out. That was one thing I was worried about. I was worried about 10 people showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the number of people that we had turn out. Thanks to everyone who did show up. That was great.
Was there a larger number of San Antonians than Austinites?
No.
No?
No.
More Austinites than San Antonians.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
My nephews didn't. You're not counting my nephews, are they? Because I'm kidding.
No, I'm counting grown adult heads.
Okay, good. Well, okay, grown adult. I think that even is questionable.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about at heart.
Yeah.
I'm talking physically.
Physically, okay.
Physical adult heads like the 12 I had in my trunk that day. I mean, wait. Sorry, no.
Wait, this is live?
Oh.
We can edit that one out as soon as I call the cops.
We can do the Idle 11, right?
Yeah, there you go. I forget, what was the Idle 11? I've heard. I remember the term from one of the other podcasts.
I just remember that was used in TFW's podcast when someone went up their curse or something like that.
Yeah, I just use a blaster shot from the cartoon. If someone does that. As
long as it's not an air horn, then you're okay.
No, I don't use the air horn. And I'm going to be horrible. Josh, are you still there, or did you step away again?
Nope, I'm still here.
Yay, you left, and I was all sad.
I just had to put my pet bird away. He was too rowdy to manage.
It was getting on your nerves.
I wasn't getting on my nerves. It was just sitting too rowdy to manage. He was flying all over, trying to jump on stuff that I didn't want him climbing on. So, and the bird is relevant to our interest because his name is Swoop.
He does the Transformers theme.
He does sing the Transformers theme.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh man, you got to get a recording of that.
I posted one a while back.
What?
It
Oh,
was kind of disjointed, but he's getting better at getting it all together.
I remember seeing that now. That was cool.
Nice.
Josh, did you did you happen to bring anything to the meetup?
Well, so I had heard that maybe this wasn't going to be like a toy bringing meetup, and that we should just like prepare to socialize and hang out. So I brought a couple of things that I'd gotten recently. I'd gotten extras of recently because I usually do get extras of like little kits. I brought like a Jetfire fill-in kit and some stickers for some people, and let people, if they're interested in the Jetfire fill-in kit, pick them up.
Yeah. Okay.
No, so I was gonna say, one of the things I brought was the original G2 Megatron when everyone was bringing the Megatron stuff.
Yeah, that thing was good. It was big.
I know. I forgot
Really
how
cool.
big he was. He's been in storage for a while, so I brought him out, and he's a tad bit bigger than the later Megatron. I wish they would do a G2 repaint. I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I would want the Hasbro or Takara to do a G2 Megatron, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Sorry, G2 fanboying out. Sorry.
Eddie says he's a Skype noob.
Hello?
Join the crowd.
Hey, there he is.
Hey!
Hey, what's up, guys?
Eddie.
Hey.
What's up, Ed?
What's up?
Not much. We are currently talking about first impressions of the meetup and how it went, and so on and so forth. Eddie, first off, let's go ahead and introduce who you are. You are Eddie Chan from ToyDojo.com, right?
Yep.
Cool. So we know who you are, so let's go ahead and move on with the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think most everybody knows who you are by now.
Wait,
but
what's Toy Dojo?
Well, have you ever heard of BBTS? It's not that. It's better.
It's
Thank
way
God.
better.
No, Eddie, we're talking about the meetup and how it went. What did you think of the meetup? First impression?
I thought it was really far. But I thought it was pretty good. It's always cool to see everybody from San Antonio. I see them like at least once a year, and if they do Alamo City Toy Show, I see them twice. So it's pretty cool. I always get a warm welcome in San Antonio, so I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. You're always appreciated down here. We appreciate everything you do too.
What did you think of the location that we were at? The facilities?
I thought it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it was cool. I thought it was a good venue, a lot of room, space.
You say it's in the middle of nowhere. The funny thing is, it's downtown San Marcos, which, depending on who you talk to, I guess could be considered the middle of nowhere. But
is that really downtown San Marcos? Wow.
Basically, yeah. That wasn't too far from a location that George Strait got his start. It's you're within several blocks of
The Texas Music Theater.
Yeah, Texas Music Theater. And what's the school over there?
Texas State?
Texas State, yeah.
Oh, really? Texas State's over there? Okay.
Yeah. You're within long walking distance, but still walking distance of Texas
8 blocks, pretty much.
That's walking distance. It's South by Southwest, so that's considered walking distance for now. So, yeah, we were saying we enjoyed the location, but the fact that they really don't want us back, basically, is kind of frustrating.
But they didn't want us back?
Yeah.
That's what we said.
What happened?
Evidently, like I was telling the other guys, was pretty much the manager on duty. I'm not sure if he was the actual store manager or the head honcho. He said we were, quote unquote, over capacity, and their capacity is 25 for a large group.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah, when now that I think about it, 25 does sound like a small group.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that it's 25 for a place like that. I mean, there's a lot of space and everything.
There's a lot of space, and not only that, they hold, I think, some music events too. So that
for 25 people,
I'm surprised.
I guess that's big in downtown San Marcos.
In the middle of nowhere, yeah, the ghost town. Yeah, 25 people. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's true.
No offense to anybody who lives in San Marcos.
None taken. Just kidding.
Yeah, anybody who lives in San Marcos has got to understand that when people in Austin and San Antonio say it's small, it's because we live in San Antonio and Austin. So.
Well, then again, most of the San Marcos is college kids, so.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Not many kids stick around once school's over, so you can't really. That town turns into a community. the city of San Marcos turns into a podunk little redneck town. I say that with all love because I are one.
Hey, I grew up in a town that was similar to that. College town in Iowa, which was like 80,000 people when students were there, and like 20 to 30 when they were gone.
Gee whiz. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
So Eddie, did you bring any toys to the meetup? I'm kidding. You
No,
obviously did. You didn't bring any. You didn't bring any of your own toys to the meetup. Let's put it that way.
I don't have any of my own toys. Everything's for sale.
Everything must go.
Better not sell your birthday gift.
Oh yeah, that one's not for sale. I mess with that every day.
You put that up on a pedestal. Well, so if there's anything else to say about the meetup and how it went, and we'll talk about future meetups and what you'd like to do for that later on. But as far as the meetup we just had, unless there's anything else you want to say, we'll move on to the next topic.
I guess just one more thing. Just really, the big thanks goes out to Cole. He's the one that reached out to us, and he's the one that set up the venue. So he did all the hard work. So thanks, Cole.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
What an instigator. Jeez.
I'm sorry I held the gun to your head, Josh. I'm sorry. But I want to just say thank you guys for actually helping me try to get the Austin guys down to San Marcos. It was just big help. I mean, I appreciate everything you guys did, and I want to say thank you guys for actually coming down and supporting it.
Yeah, no, I was pumped when I found out this was happening. I was excited, so I was glad to get down there, and that's why I wanted to take my nephews too, so they could experience the fact that there's a bunch of people out there that enjoy getting together and enjoy communicating and enjoy talking about things that love is a strong word, but I guess for some of us could be used things that we love. This is something that we enjoy, and I think it's great when we're able to get together and organize something like this, especially across two towns, not just one giant, just not just Austin or San Antonio, but being able to get this to happen across two completely different cities. So thank you guys for everything y'all did for that.
And James, you saying that reminds me of something else. So I lied before. There is one more thing I want to say in regards to the meetup.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's too late.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, moving on. Anyway, we're getting. No, okay, go ahead.
No, it's, and I think I mentioned this to someone before at the meetup. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come. Mm-hmm. It's true because there was a G.I. Joe group that I was a part of a few years back that we set up a meetup in Austin, and we had people from everywhere, from Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, even I think someone came from Corpus Christi too on one of the two times that we were able to do a meetup. And it's just the passion for the hobby, and if we do it, people will come. And that's actually how I met Joel for the first time, was at the first TaterCon, the G.I. Joe meetup that we had.
Oh wow!
So it's funny how things work out, and here me and Joel meet up again with the Transformers group. So
and I always figure trolls just spawned when they were needed. I didn't realize Joel was actually around before this group that we have.
Yeah, he gets around.
Yeah, apparently so. I've just figured he'd pop up, just to annoy people and then disappear back down his hole. But
well, I was going to add on to what you were saying, James, about your nephews. When you brought them in, it also shows that you can create lifelong connections and friends from this particular hobby.
Yeah.
So it also shows good communication skills as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I loved taking my nephews, and they see everything that I have. They see the enjoyment that I get from having things like this and being able to be part of a community like this. And I saw this as an opportunity to show them this is more than just what you see of me. There's, I have fun with all this, but in the end, it's also about being able to be part of a community and being part of other people who appreciate and can talk about what I enjoy doing. And that's why I like doing this podcast, because I've mentioned it before. I want people to listen to it. If they don't listen to it, that's no problem, because I just enjoy talking to other people about this. And
that's the funny thing too. For the most part, our the Transformers fan base. There you go. Most of them are usually closet collectors. They don't really like to get out, or they're just more quiet and to themselves. It's not until you get these events like BotCon or TFCon or some of the smaller get-togethers like we had just had, that they slowly come out of the woodworks and get comfortable talking about stuff that they like and other people enjoy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, moving on to the next topic. I always like doing this for the meetups because I think sometimes you can always find interesting things that people have to say about the different figures. But if you had a chance to look at the figures, was there a specific figure that stood out to you and that you'd like to mention? Either call someone out for bringing it, or something that you found interesting that you'd like to talk about. Paul, do you want to go first?
And sorry, was this for any meetup or?
Well, mainly for the meetup that we just had.
Okay. I mean, there were so many Megatrons there,
Were there?
Wait, there was Megatron?
Megatrons, what?
Yeah. Actually, what's Jason's Metroplex that he dirtied up? That looks pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
If I can say badass on the air here.
Ooh, I might have to blast the ass part out.
You gotta blast yourself now.
They said on network
that's
TV.
A PG
so okay.
Yeah, that's a PG-13 word. It's actually referring to an animal. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might.
Looney Tunes.
That's a bad donkey.
So yeah. So why'd you like it?
Oh, it was just great the way he dirtied it up. It kind of reminds me of what Dave does, and it just just looks really good. And Metroplex is a badass figure.
Of all the figures that I see dirtied up, if anybody's going to be dirtied up, I would say it's Metroplex should be that way, simply because an individual bot the size of a car should be able to clean himself. I mean, they have freaking buildings specifically designed to drive through just to wash a car. So I think a bot the size of a car should be able to keep himself clean. That being said, an entire city has a little bit more difficulty in keeping itself clean. So if anybody's going to be dirtied up, I think Metroplex should be dirtied up over the other bots. But that's just me.
Yeah, well, he hires, Z Viper, so Z Viper will come and clean him.
You don't think Metroplex has a swarm of Roombas?
That's a lot of Roombas.
That makes sense.
That's a lot of Roombas, man. I mean, I don't know. How do they keep the city of New York clean? By hiring Rudy Giuliani, I guess? I don't know.
New York is clean?
I've actually never been to New York, so I can't say that.
Neither have I.
I've never been that far north either.
I've stood on the other side of the river in New Jersey looking at New York, so I don't know.
So that's why it looked clean to you.
That's what I was about to say. That's why, because I was standing in the dirty Jers. That's true. All right, well, cool. Eddie, were you able to look at any toys at all? Were you able to step away from your
Corner?
Corner, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got my first look at that Combiner Wars Megatron. That was pretty cool. I think RJ had one, and he showed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pick one up now.
Yeah,
yes, I need to.
I have a confession. I've already purchased it from Toy Dojo, but I was at Walmart last night, and I saw it, and I was like, ooh, I can always take one of them back to Walmart after...
No, don't take it back.
No, I don't care, because I'm going to open it up. I've already opened it up, messed with it, but when I get a new one in, I'll just take it back to Walmart with the receipt.
I wouldn't do that. Just give it to me. I'll take it from you.
Yeah, James,
okay,
find somebody who wants it in the group. That's...
Yeah, honestly, that's what
Eddie.
I was thinking about doing.
I just say give it to Eddie.
We're sold out, so every time I put one up, it sells out.
That doesn't surprise me. Well, yeah.
To me, that says a lot for the whole Combiner Wars line for Transformers in general. I mean,
yeah,
they're selling out. I mean, online stores are selling out. In stores, can hardly find them at all.
I love this line. These are one of the few domestic products that I bring in that I actually like. I'm not stuck with like a crap load of scoops.
No, but you are stuck with a crap load of
scoop.
Well, I was going to say you're stuck with a crap load of Thundercrackers and tailgates,
Oh yeah,
right?
well, that's true. But for the deluxes, everybody needs everybody.
Eventually.
Yeah. And you know what? Y'all mentioned that this Combiner Wars line is really good. I love listening to these people. There's a lot of people out there that bitch, of course, about Hasbro and about what they're doing with the Combiner Wars, et cetera, et cetera. The more that I see people messing with, like right now, I have my Legends Acid Storm shoved on the chest of Motormaster. The more that I see people mess with these, the more I realize how genius Hasbro has been with all these toys and how they're so compatible with each other. You can mix and match.
You haven't
I
broken your
saw
Acid Storm yet? Because you're holding them on by the hands, right?
Yeah, on the hands, yeah.
Because on one of the reviews I saw when they were trying to do that, I think it was Pia. He used Starscream and pretty much broke the hands on Starscream by putting them on there.
Well, and I've seen multiple ways of doing it, and what I've done is the hands are the three parts of his body that make up the plane, like his legs, the wings, and then that torso piece. That is completely kajiggered so that it's not pretty as an airplane, but it's pretty, on his chest. So I made it work. I didn't break it. I messed with it, and nothing's really pegged in. It's just the figure is tight enough to hold its place.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be really careful with those hands on the Combiner Wars figures. Slapping the Legends figures onto one of the Voyager figures. Those pegs weren't really meant for that, but it's totally worth it to try and just be careful. Yeah,
I'm right there. It is totally worth it. I think it looks awesome. The different ones I'm seeing, like I love what Dave did. He put that Legends Optimus Prime on there, and then he had onto the Optimus Prime figure, and then he had Bumblebee hanging off his back, which gave him more girth. I love what I'm seeing from these guys, and all the genius ways that people are using them, all the different figures. So
yeah, same here. I'm liking this line. Has surpassed my expectations. I knew I was going to be picking them up. I mean, I just wasn't sure how far along in the line I was going to pick up, including repaints, et cetera, but after messing with it and seeing Toy Fair, I can see how they're going to get at least 2, if not 4 molds out of each.
Yeah.
Or figures out of each mold.
Yeah, and the fact that they're, like, I guarantee you, Off-Road from Minosaur will be Ironhide.
Oh, yeah, it's in that comic at the end of it with the extra artist page. So you can pretty much guarantee that he's out, and we already know Mirage is going to be repaint of Dragstrip. Sunstreaker is going to be a repaint of going to be Breakdown.
Yeah, Breakdown. But the fact that those are going to, and I know there's going to be people out there that will whine and complain about the fact that Mirage and Ironhide are not combiners. Yeah, you know what? You're right. They're not. In the comics, they're not. But this toy, you can either use it as a combiner or not use it as a combiner. But if you use it, you're being clever. You're being creative. And if you don't want to use it, then don't use it as that, and shut up about it.
And also, we haven't seen the end of the Combiner Wars line story yet, so who knows what's going to happen? Yeah. Plus, we've got 2 years of Combiner Wars. I was just commenting to one of the Austin members earlier this week. It's like, if you think about it, we are 3 months into 2015. We have 2 full combiners out. If Hasbro keeps up at this pace, we have 10 more combiners to go.
Side question for y'all: do you think what do you think the chances are that they will actually come out or figure out some way to repaint somebody as a sweep for this Galvatronus?
I think it might be a far stretch, but I could see him probably redoing one of the jets into it.
From what I read, it's not going to happen. Like, we won't see a Scourge. Although I would really, really love to see that.
What about this? For BotCon, you know how BotCon has their troop builder line? So when you show up, you buy, like, the 3 of the repaint? Don't they do that, right?
Don't get me started on a repaint on troop building. I have a bad habit from Prime.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, of course. Well, that's a given. That you had to collect those guys as troop builders.
I'm talking about the Luxes, not the Cyberverse. I have 30 of the Cyberverse and 16 of the Deluxes.
Okay, you're just nuts. I didn't go 16. I bought 3 of them and then one of the flying guys, but I didn't buy 6 freaking teen.
Well, most of them were on sale or at Walgreens.
Yeah.
2 years after they were released.
Dude, Walgreens is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I got a bad habit.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, Eddie, I agree with you that Combiner Wars Megatron is really cool, and I'm enjoying messing with. I actually haven't even transformed him, but I was pumped to see him at the meetup, and I might actually just keep the second one and hand it off to Dave and say, "Can I have a G2 Megatron, please, Dave? Thank you."
Now I'm gonna have to go get the Armada one and have them send it to him. Have to send it to you guys to do that because I really want one.
Yeah, we got some talented guys in our group. I'll say that.
Yeah, we've got a customizer of our own too. He mainly does GI Joes, but he's a good customizer at that too. But yeah, you guys have some pretty freaking cool customizers, especially that Metroplex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That Metroplex was really good. Cole, you need to take a look at Joel's Metroplex that he turned into. Was it Metro Titan?
Yeah, he's got a Metro Triton version, and he's got a version that he completely blacked out. They're both absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Did he do that himself?
Yeah, he did that himself. From what I know, from when I was talking to him.
He did. He did. I want to steal them both.
I can play a distraction for you.
Joel, if your house gets robbed, you now know who it is. So.
Josh.
It was Josh.
Hey, just because I planned on using Paul as a scapegoat.
Wait,
I'm using you as an escape. What was that?
You weren't supposed to let him know about that.
All right. So let's see. Cole, Paul, you went. So Josh, anything stand out to you?
Lots and lots of Megatrons. As far as figures, I really like getting a chance to talk to people as they were buying stuff from Eddie and telling them like my experience with the toys. So hoping that would help them make their buys better. So that's what I thought stood out as far as figure wise for me, making sure people got good toys.
When are you going to start doing reviews online?
Hopefully soon
on YouTube.
Hopefully
really?
Soon. Yeah.
Dude, that'd be cool. I'm waiting for someone from our group to start that. Because I can't do that to them.
One of the guys in our group, he does some. That's Tambi Yoda, the guy Glenn. He has some decent Vader reviews, but we're trying to get on to our own reviews as well, because we'd like to voice our opinion. What every collector looks for in a figure.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really just looking for somebody who's a little bit more graphically talented than I am to make me like a Toy Dojo splash screen for the video, stuff like that. So I've got, yeah. So you get some advertisement from these videos when I review your toys.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we're looking at doing the same thing too, doing a link splash screen, courtesy of or courtesy from, or go here to get your toy.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, one quick thing I wanted to kind of mention about the meetups. If we can time it for like a big release, I think that'd be really cool to see everybody like say sit there and open up the Ultra Magnus or whatever that comes out next. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that's what we did with our last meetup for the CZE. Was when I gave everybody the Ultra Magnuses, almost everyone that got it opened it up.
Oh wow, that's awesome!
I should have posted a video of it, but I was too busy handing them out.
Yeah, I remember loading up your car.
All those Magni.
Well, I think the
Because of
problem
the
with that
magazines.
is scheduling. Is like we'd have to like schedule like a mini separate meetup for that. Since I mean, Eddie, you barely get like a week or two lead time when you know when it's going to be hit your hand.
Well, that could be something more of a just a release party or release to get together instead of an actual meetup. You know,
Yeah.
whoever can make it can make it, and
Yeah,
whoever
that's-
can't, it's not a big deal.
That's where I was headed with that. Yeah, let's do something else besides just a meetup, since those get scheduled, month in advance, ish.
Well,
So whenever-
in terms of like,
slumber party.
I don't know about that.
I want my hair braided.
All right, I'm not coming.
You'll be at your shop, Eddie. You have to be there.
Oh, great. No braiding allowed in the shop.
Oh, I'm sad.
Much depression.
In terms of like release dates, most of the third-party ones are really hard to predict, but the official stuff is usually pretty good.
So when's Exhaust coming out?
Never.
So
That thing has been in limbo so many times. I
So bringing
seriously
up
think it will not.
bringing up Eddie's future shop, that'd be a great place. It's like just have release events there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Actually.
Yeah, actually, that should happen.
Yes.
I'm sure.
I agree.
Online.
Midnight release of toys, and
I'll never be midnight because I don't get
Midnights.
Jimmy's that late.
well, and then we could have Steve Martinez barbecue and all that jazz.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Out front.
Just ask Joel when the FedEx and UPS guys show up. He knows.
He's on top of all that. Well, I'll throw mine out there, and we can move on to the next topic. I've never messed with a world's smallest transformer. I'm sure I've seen them at our meetups before, but I never really clicked what they were. And I picked up the world's smallest Megatron, and I'm like, okay, this is not the tiny little, not legend size. What's the ridiculously small size of Transformer toys that are out there?
You have Cyberverse is the smallest one. That was the newest. That
Okay.
I can remember.
Well, that's the smallest I've ever played with. That little Transformer, that little Megatron. But that world's smallest the world's smallest Megatron, if I can talk here, that was new to me. And seeing that just caught my eye, and I'm like, what the heck? I had to ask somebody, what is this? And I never figured it looked really good. It looked really, really good, and I just did not ever think that a world's smallest Megatron would look that good. And I didn't even try to transform it because it's not mine. And at that scale, you'd want to do it with tweezers, as far as I'm concerned. So I didn't even bother asking to whoever it was to transform it.
I think that was Jack. Jack was the one that brought that.
Yeah. And then, of course, my nephew picked up the tiny little Megatron gun, the small legend size, and ran around that going pew pew pew, and I'm like, no, put it back. He's got a habit of taking a toy, walking around, and then setting it down and leaving it there. So I'm like, put it back where you found it. Don't run around going pew pew. But that was my choice.
Why not, James? I do.
Yeah, but hopefully you put it back where you found it. That's the main concern.
Wait, you're supposed to do that?
Well,
What?
if it's somebody else's toy.
Supposed to put things back where you found them? Come on.
Okay, that's it. I'm never bringing
That's
my
too-
toys to the meetups.
That's too much work.
I know.
There's so much to
Like,
remember. I'm trying just to remember how many people I pew-pewed. Come on.
I don't want to hear about you pew-pewing anybody. That's you'll get the cops cut.
Whoa.
We need someone out at Slabs. There's a man running around pew-pewing people.
National news.
Yeah,
Yikes.
they're gonna show up, see you with a
just
gun.
a toy.
Oh,
It's just
it's
a
got
toy.
he's got a red cap. He's fine.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
I'm gonna run up to a cop and threaten him with a world's smallest Megatron. I'll get far with that one. Next thing we got on topic. Let's see. So this is where we talk about future meetups. how do you want the meetups to continue? Now, I wrote a couple of these things down, and I'll mention them for Eddie's sake. The venue. What would you like to see in a venue for a future dual city meet, for a future Austin San Antonio meet, or San Antonio Austin, depending on where you're from and who you want to go first? Venue. Is there a specific theme you would like to see, like a if is it possible that we get the two cities together for a release party? And what date works? Is Saturday a good day for everybody, or would you like to see a Sunday? Would you like to see a Monday because you want to troll it? And then the last thing I had on there was the Transformers theme stripper. Would you like them to be male or female? Or I guess we can split the difference because those are out there. Nobody's laughing. I'm not.
wait. You're not serious? Oh,
I don't want to be offensive. Nobody laughed at me making fun of Joel as a troll, so I felt really bad. Does anybody want to comment on these things? I'm not going to say a name. I'll just let y'all start talking.
Well, as for me, I mean, I think doing trying to keep it, centralized, either be it San Marcos, New Braunfels, or like somewhere around Buda or something like that. Just for the time being, just to make sure everybody gets comfortable with each other and just slowly build it up from there. And then we can eventually, one time we'll do it up in Austin, one time we'll do it in San Antonio, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome actually if you go to the other city, have it at somebody's house. I mean, I know that is asking a whole hell of a lot, but
I mean, that's something into the future. That's something that could be possibly worked out, like a barbecue or something like that.
Steve Martinez.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Steve to tell us, okay, come on over.
Yeah, Cole, you need to friend him on Facebook so you can see all the freaking meat that he barbecues. It's ridiculous, and it pisses me off because it always makes me hungry. And he's not inviting us over, so I just don't know what's going on with that one. But, and you know what? Whoever has it at their house, here's some incentive. You can show off your toys, because who doesn't like to do that? Everybody wants to show off their toys.
Everybody wants to be the cool kid on the block.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be the cool kid on the block and show off what they have. The other option is when there is a physical shop to go to buy toys. What do you think about that one, Eddie? I think that'd be awesome.
I agree. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I am 100% behind
Somebody
that.
needs to get on that.
Well, as soon as we get that going, I mean, heck, I think one of you already mentioned it, the release date idea, and have that at a future Toy Dojo shop.
Eddie, can you hold more than 25 people there?
I don't know. I'm not as big as that barbecue joint. I actually have to. I'm not even sure what the fire capacity is. I'd have to check.
We'll hold it down at Mueller Park. We'll take over the.
Yeah, we could do that. The park is just down the street, so
we could
Actually, the
take
parks
over
are like this nice. Like for instance, down there in New Braunfels, Landa Park. It's a nice little summer venue.
Now, Eddie, after your shop opens up, are you going to be able to attend the meetup still? If we can't have them at your place,
I have to hire somebody full time. So once I think the first couple months might be a little difficult, but once things get settled and they don't need me there, then it'll be easier.
Okay.
Or you guys can have the meetups there.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
When it comes to like just our Austin meetups, I don't see if Eddie's willing to open his place of business to us, I don't see why we shouldn't have it there. That's just me,
Agreed.
It's just my feeling on the subject. But I know that's a lot for you, Eddie.
Capacity. I'm just worried about capacity.
Yeah. And what about the theme thing? I know we had, let's see, the Austin meetup, we had a Magnus theme whenever MP Magnus came out, and then we just had the Megatron theme. Is that something that you guys enjoy? I kind of like it. I think it's neat because, one, it might reduce the number of toys, and again, I'm all about making the business happy that we're at by making sure that we don't bring too much stuff. But is that something y'all enjoy doing? Do y'all want to try and continue that? Feelings on it?
Yeah.
You know, I do and I don't enjoy the theme at the same time.
It's
If
like a
that makes
love-hate
sense.
relationship.
I was gonna say something very, very similar. There's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
As far as how I feel about it, like digging into that, the pros, it's great that everybody brings like a common toy. It's a common thing to talk about. On the flip side, well, I mean, the themes tend to get announced kind of late. I would like them to be announced a little bit earlier, because I know in my schedule, personally, I have to prepare like a couple of days in advance, or like the week before the meetup before, so I can have the right things in my bag to go to the meetup. And then the other side of the other side of that is like it's kind of limiting. Like if there's a theme announced and something else came out recently that I'd rather bring and show. It can limit, and everybody's focused on that one thing instead of sharing the new.
Well,
Yeah.
I think to counteract that is, whatever, say, like what happened with Megatron. Megatron was just, the official one was just released, and the Megatron was a good theme to go with. So it's like, say, I don't know, when Trax comes out, do a Trax type theme, anything from G1 to current, that's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of tracks and tracks across time, that's what I'll say. The Hot Shot that came out for the movie line, seriously, they call it Hot Shot and not Tracks. Why? He's got he's obviously Tracks.
Of course.
So why did we call him Hot Shot? Anybody have an explanation for that, or is everybody as dumbfounded as I am?
Who knows?
I think everyone's just as dumbfounded as you are.
Okay, yeah, because honestly, I kept looking at him. I still want to buy that guy, and he's all over the place. I can find him.
Repro Labels has a great set that turns them into tracks. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
I saw that too. Well, the funny thing was when he was shown, what was it, BotCon or San Diego, it was shown that he had the orange looking, or red and yellow looking flames on the hood, but when they released him, it's just blue. I could be wrong, because I know the mold, not the mold, the actual product is different from what they showed, slightly.
I don't recall seeing him when he was announced. I heard that they were going to release him as blue, and I thought they were going to release him as Tracks. But anyway, that's getting off topic. So, let's see. The one thing I was going to say about the theme for me is, Josh, I completely understand what you're saying about it kind of limits what you can bring and such like that. But I don't see, other than people not focusing on your new thing, I don't see a reason why you can't bring that new thing. There's a theme, but just because the theme is pipes doesn't mean that you have to bring pipes. Bring what you want and show it off, and I guarantee you people will get tired of looking at pipes and come and look at the new toy that you have that nobody else has.
No, he has to bring pipes. There's no question about it.
Well, plus there's also like, what if I don't have a figure in that thing?
Yeah,
Right.
Then you're
It's like
embarrassed.
Megatron. It's like I have one Megatron in my entire collection, and somebody was bound to bring it.
You only have one Megatron?
I only have one Megatron.
He's a bot collector.
I'm a bot collector too.
That's true.
I have very few true blood Decepticons. Actually, it's growing. It's growing, but
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Josh. I mean, I'm more of the Autobot side, but the one Decepticon that I am loyal to is Ramjet, because one of the G2 Ramjet was probably one of my most favorite jets.
Let's see. Was there a venue? We talked about toys you'd want to bring, or the theme deal. Anybody else have anything else you want to say on the theme? All right. I like silence. That means we can move on to the next topic because I'm going to skip over the stripper thing because I was just kidding about that one.
Oh,
What? I just prepared like a whole dissertation about that, James. Come on.
I got
Okay. We'll go
positives
with that
and
one.
negatives.
So since you guys have already planned, I'll ask Eddie what he thinks about strippers.
No comments.
Third-party strippers, are they
genuine or not?
Yeah. And who's releasing them? Son of a biscuit, if my computer just didn't go to sleep, and that is
KFC.
KFC strippers. And they dance to Blaster. Let's see. All right.
I don't know about you, but I like KFC strips with barbecue sauce. I think that's better.
I'm kind of tired of cooking KFC for a lifetime.
Mashed potato bowl combo.
But I do agree that chicken strips are good.
I can't recall the last time I had KFC other than Blaster, but I realized you guys were talking about the restaurant, and still that holds true, but I can't remember.
There's a restaurant.
There's a franchise.
Yeah, little redhead girl advertises for them, and yeah. And there's a dog that asks about where the restaurant is. Little Chihuahua. Is that what he says? Yo quiero no, that's I want. I want Taco Bell. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
I was like,
is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as the meetups? Like what you thought or what you'd like to see in the future?
Well, I would like to add... next one will be happening in May. We're just trying to figure out a location that will hold 30 guys, 30-plus guys, and 2 tons of Transformers.
And that's actually something I forgot to mention. I was waiting until we talked about future meetups. Guys, what do y'all feel about money? And besides the love of it, what do y'all think about, $3 so that everybody paying in $3 or just asking to voluntarily give $3 to show up, just so we can maybe pay for something and maybe get a good place. I mean, is that an option?
That's an option that we're looking at. I mean, we really don't want to, ask you guys for money to try to help reserve a particular event venue to hold the event. Yeah. We want to try to keep it cost-free with the exception of whatever, you buy from Eddie or from someone else or for food and alcohol. But, I mean, if it comes down to that, I don't think nobody's going to be objective to say, no, I don't want to put $1 or $3 in for you guys to reserve a particular room or venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I do think, I mean, I don't know. Throwing in a few bucks per person is not that bad a thing to ask. And the other thing, Cole, you've mentioned is when you start having to pay for a venue, a lot of times that doesn't include access to food and or alcohol or what have you. Those kind of venues end up being a BYO food, bring your own food, bring your own beer, bring your own whatever. So
or
that is
purchase from what they have on their particular additional menu.
Yeah.
You reserve the room, but it doesn't come with the food. If you want the food, it's going to cost this much extra.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have, if we do meet in San Marcos, there should be some good places there.
There has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if anybody's listening to this, if anybody's listening to this who knows of a good place in San Marcos, please post in one of the 2 groups. Yada yada.
Speaking of groups, the meetup we were talking, me and Paul were talking about creating a group for a joint group between San Antonio and Austin. Mm-hmm. And I just created it today. We will be trying to work out on a logo for this coming week. We think we agreed on, what was it, CyrbertronZ Alliance?
Yeah.
Paul? So I created a group. I just added Paul as admin to start adding Austin group or Austin peeps, and I'll be adding the San Antonio peeps to it. It is like y'all's group. It's a private group, so you have to know one of us to get in, or to be added in. I'm sorry, not to get in, but to be added in.
Okay. Well, cool. And before I forget, Josh, I do want to talk to you about domain names and such like that when this is over with. We don't need to do it now, but yeah, we need to talk about that some more because I still like the whole thing of getting a blog site or something along those lines up. I still love the Facebook group, and I don't plan on ever leaving that. But at the same time, it would be nice to have a website.
Yeah, I totally want a public face for our group, and that
Yeah.
being a blog type, place where everybody can put like their projects. A longer term storage for the projects or the how tos that doesn't get lost in a Facebook feed, but is like in a searchable format meant for that stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the downside about Facebook. There's not a good storage option when it comes to stuff like that. Either someone's particular how-to or their particular what you call it there.
Yeah, it just gets lost to the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we can talk about meetups? I know I've asked this question already, but I'll do it again. I'm just trying to rack my brain. And
Why would you rack your brain? That's gotta hurt.
Ow.
I put it on the rack and I stretch it out, hoping to squeeze the intestinal ideas and the gooey ideas that are squished around in there. Just smash it down, and it's kind of like wringing a towel. I just grab my brain and squeeze it.
Okay.
That's what the rack does. It
Just so
stretches your
you
brain
can
out.
absorb more later. Yeah.
Yeah, or just be completely hollow for when I go drinking. So one of the two.
I thought that's why people drank, to empty out these.
Let's see. I just had something in mind, but I forgot, and apparently wasn't that big of a deal. So, all right. Well, cool. Let's move on to what we've gotten. And typically, I ask you to just reduce it and limit it to one thing, but whatever you want to mention, you go until you're done. So, Cole, you want to go first?
Sure.
Oh,
Pretty much.
and one more thing. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and limit it to what we actually have in hand, and not what we're getting in. Is that cool?
Damn. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine.
It's not cool, James.
All right, well,
it's not cool. No,
sorry.
It's not fair.
The only person that can talk about what they're getting in my opinion, will be Eddie. So, yeah. Well, Cole, go for it, man. What do you have in hand that you are excited about?
Pretty much like you. I couldn't put down the new Combiner Wars Megatron. That thing is freaking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fidgety. It's just the most surprising part about it is the rolling rubber treads on it.
Yes.
Just being granted, it's 4 separate treads, but at the same time, it's what looks like a unified, cohesive piece. And all the metallic paint, wow.
Yeah.
But all around, he's a pretty cool figure as far as a leader class goes, and being simplified is what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably one of my favorite leaders next to Generations Jetfire.
Yeah. I haven't put them side by side. I got Generations Jetfire in this box right now, but I had him out enough to play with him, and that Jetfire is really cool. I love his posability. I mean, I know, again, it's a Hasbro toy. It's a store-bought toy, so the posability, while there, is still somewhat limited. But yeah, this Megatron, in my opinion, just fits right in with that guy.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about Megatron as well. It's just there's a couple issues that are bothering me, though. On his hips, he's missing just that one extra click to where he can do a decent A stance instead of doing a awkwardly wide spread stance.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think they could have done a better deal with the arm cannon, that mechanism to flip it up, to put it on the outside of the arm instead of being on top of the arm.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what I've been thinking about all freaking day. You can adjust it, but if you do, then you end up covering up his fists, which isn't that bad for posing him in certain
Well, he
positions.
has wrist swivels, so that's
Yeah,
not that big of a deal. But
yeah, but having that gun sit where it is, you can't bend his arm, so you have to flip it out and have it sitting on the side. But again, that covers up his hand, which I can deal with. But I do wish. What was the Nerf gun, Megatron? That was underslung on the bottom of his forearm, right?
I don't remember. That's one of the ones I don't have.
Yeah, I believe it was. I believe it was slung under. I have two of that mold, but they're both boxed up right now. I believe it was underslung, and that was the biggest complaint about that, is that nobody could really get him to pose aiming that cannon very well because it was of its position. So this one's not as egregious, but it still has some issues that I'd like to have ironed out. But I'm not going to complain. The gun, the gun works. I can make it work without it being too bad. And how do you have yours? How do you have your gun posed? Is it spun backwards, or do you have the small barrel aiming out the front?
No, I have it spun around backwards, where the back of the would be the tank turret is the front of the main cannon, and that little projectile missile is just sticking out the side or out the back, however you want to say it. And it's swiveled up on the position where it's out of the way of the elbow hinge. Mm-hmm. And I pretty much have them straight out pointing it with the wrist swivel turned down.
Yeah. You know what I'm noticing? There is... so I have mine on the side of his arm with the larger opening on pointing forward. And I'm noticing a little, what looks to be like a dial type thing sitting on top of that cannon. And that dial reminds me of the kind of dial that you have sitting on top of the scope to dial in how you're, the distance that you're using the scope at. And that's I wonder if that was meant to be there, or if that's just a happy circumstance of detailing. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing I like. I like, with all these figures that are coming out, all the minute detailing that they're putting into these figures, either be it in vehicle mode on the other side of underside of panels that you wouldn't expect to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, with the Power Glide, granted, he's got that little scope on there, but he's got little molded details that you wouldn't really see otherwise.
Yeah.
Be it on the that little flap or inside the arms.
Yeah, that guy's pretty neat. Anything else you got?
Yeah, I picked up the Q Transformer from Eddie. I picked up Jazz.
Oh,
one of my
cool.
all-time favorite characters. That is a fun desk fidget toy. Because I have him and Rodimus sitting at work underneath the computer, so I get bored easy trying to find, because I'm a graphic designer, so I get bored easy trying to find particular fonts that work for certain things. So I'll just scroll and start dozing off. So I just need to stop, pick up one of those two and fidget around. They are good little tiny $10 figures. They are incredible. I'm surprised how well they turned out.
Yeah, I really like them. They're fun. Okay, so you got Jazz. What kind of a car do you think that Jazz is? Because I think all of these things, unless I'm mistaken, they're all based off legitimate cars.
Yes, they are. Jazz is the 1980s Toyota AE86, or what we got in the States was the Toyota Corolla Terreno.
Good, I was right. I kept looking. My nephew was like, "Who is that? What is he?" And I'm like, you bud, I think he's a Toyota Corolla from the 80s.
And I think his main paint scheme is done after the initial D, the tofu delivery car.
That's pretty cool.
And I want to say the Sunstreaker is done after the RX-7 from the initial D as well.
Mm-hmm.
I could be mistaken,
yeah.
But that's what I'm getting from them. And then the hot rod was the Toyota GT86 or the Scion FRS in the States.
Okay, hold on now. I was thinking it was a Scion too, but I drove past a Subaru something. I forget what it was.
That Subaru is called the BRZ. That's the sister car or the joint venture between Toyota and Subaru. The only difference was the front bumper and headlights mainly.
Okay. Eddie, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just saying it was a BRZ.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My next car.
Well, cool. Cool. Who wants to go next? Anybody? A volunteer in the crowd? I pick you. Well, I pointed. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was wondering who would step up.
Well, I actually got Motormaster in the mail today, but I haven't been able to play with him yet. Discount. And
Discount double check?
discount, James discount.
My Toy Joy discount, apparently.
Yep.
That was thanks to the Toy Joy guy that walked out, which I kept talking to the Toy Joy employees, and I kept saying Toy Dojo. Because they got really confused. And I had to explain to them why I'm saying Toy Dojo, and about 30 seconds in, their eyes kind of glazed over, and I just had to move on with the conversation because they don't really care.
It's like, why are you still here?
Yeah. I don't know. Anywho, yeah. What'd you think of that guy?
Motormaster, I got Chromia in the mail the other day.
Yeah.
And, of course, the famous Megatron everyone keeps talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Who, honestly, I think I prefer him in tank mode more than bot mode.
I agree.
And, yeah, that metallic paint is just lovely.
Y'all say that. I actually haven't changed him into tank mode, so I can't really say. His tank mode looks beautiful. All the pictures I've seen looks really cool. I kind of like this bot mode. Everybody's complaining about the legs. I'm okay with the legs. I mean, yeah, they're a little slim, but frankly, all the Megatron toys over the years we've got have had slim arms.
Well, I think what everyone's main complaint about the legs are the feet, not necessarily the legs themselves.
Yeah.
Because the legs themselves have that gun grip type molding on the inside of the panels, so it still makes them look like his G1 incarnation. But the feet is what I think everybody has an issue with.
Yeah, I don't think I've messed with his feet and him overall enough to be able to say yes or no to that. But I can see what you're talking about.
I think his arm cannon is too thin. It needs some more girth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that joke. What do you mean?
Cool.
Sorry, eating. It's a penis joke.
Cool. So you got the Megatron. What else do you get, mister?
Megatron, Chromia, and Motormaster. That's, I think, all I've gotten lately.
Oh, Paul, how's your Chromia?
Fine, I guess, for now.
Because when I got mine, I had a misinstalled shoulder ball joint pin.
Oh,
So
no, mine seems okay.
So, and when I have to transform it in the vehicle mode, I have to pop the arm off one of the ball joints, fold it in, and then just have it sit in there because the ball joint, the part is a L shape with the ball joint on the end of it, and where it's attached to the torso, it's a pin.
Uh-huh.
And they installed it upside down.
Oh, gotcha.
So when you have the foot of the L facing downwards instead of upwards, the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, mine seems fine. I haven't transformed her yet, but I'm looking at her now. She looks fine. So.
I was so disappointed when I got that. Great figure, it just had that one little defect.
I haven't had an issue with mine. I mean, messed with it a little bit, but overall, she's actually just been sitting in alt mode most of the time, though. Cool. Anything else you want to discuss, or shall I move to the next person?
I've gotten a bunch of Marvel Legends, but that's a different podcast right there.
Hey, I'm right there with you. You saw what I got in. I got my and thanks again for the suggestion, because that's saving me a little bit of money. But I just got to unload these doubles, and I might end up unloading some of the other main guys. Like I don't need Machine Man,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as I get my Odin father, That'll be cool.
Yep.
Well, Josh, moving right along to you, sir. You got anything you want to talk about?
Well, yeah. As far as new stuff, I got everything to make the complete Menasor combiner from Wave 2, the Combiner Wars.
Oh wow!
And that is a great toy. I even actually got extra blackjacks to do the whole like blackjacks on the shoulders thing that I saw from one of the groups out there showed pictures of it, and I was like, I have to do that because it looks so good.
That's exactly what I was talking about. This line is great because you can customize, and you're not limited to just what the $100 toy tells you to do.
Yeah, exactly. But I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with the limbs yet in different configurations, and I want to because in standard configuration, it looks like Menasor is missing a kneecap.
He got capped.
Yeah. But besides that, I got the third-party but licensed Optimus Prime and Megatron based off of a Sony PlayStation and Sega Genesis.
Oh, cool.
Which
I've heard good things about those.
Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but when you figure all the licenses that went into them, so Hasbro, Takara, Sony, Sega, everything, they're actually really, really fun. And they look like spot on to their devices, just tinier when they're transformed. It's really great.
Aren't they like smaller than Deluxes in size?
No, they're bigger than Deluxes. They're close to Voyager-ish.
Oh.
Yeah, they're close to.
They look so cool.
Yeah, they're really thin though because they're glorified shell formers. But I mean, really, but they're fun. They're fun shell formers.
Isn't that what the label series is all about? It's just glorified shell formers. I mean, look at the shoe formers.
Yeah, exactly. It's just something to bring out that product, but the engineering to make it actually into a robot when it's all done is pretty good. It's pretty good for both of them. I think the Genesis turned out better than the PlayStation, but and that's Megatron versus the PlayStation Optimus Prime. But I had to get the Prime first because Prime is my guy. Anyway, besides that, and the piece the really great piece that I got that I've actually been waiting a year for is Make Toys Nemesis. They're chaos processed in the Battle Tanker series, and he is just so badass and evil looking. He has a cape. He has chains. The chains like clasp the cape with a matrix. It's just ridiculously evil looking.
When I first saw that, I wanted to get that to go on the subscription service Scourge to make the Nemesis.
Yeah.
But then they just made a full-on figure.
Yeah, but I'd been waiting a year for this figure, and I'm glad to finally have it. Soon after the very first meetup I attended, Make Toys announced it, and then it kept delaying, and it finally shipped in February, and then finally made it into my hands just late last week.
So why did they delay that thing so much? Because I remember seeing that a long time ago, and I was excited to see it get in people's hands finally. But I remember thinking, "Oh, this is still a thing."
Well, from what I understand, and I mean, this is all like rumor and speculation because they didn't actually say why they delayed it, but factory delays due to what Quantron did for them. Like they had to put the entire set of Quantron together to ship it out as sets. So they wanted to get that done. They also put out Utopia during that time, their Metroplex. So I'm not exactly sure what took them so long, considering that this product looks so much like the exact product that they said that they were releasing a year ago.
Yeah,
there's been no major change. But
didn't the same thing happen to the Microblaze Military Titan, where it took it almost a year to get finally released?
Because of other combiner stuff?
Product or factory delays.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
But I mean, with Microblaze, that's their first time out. Whereas Make Toys, they're pretty solid. Yeah. I mean, and that's the one thing why this wait of a year, I still have this toy instead of getting like fed up on the wait, is that Make Toys quality is fantastic. The plastic is great. The joints are great. This character is so poseable, it's ridiculous.
That's cool, man. And the battle tanker the actual tanker. That's a separate piece, right?
It's included with the toy, but it is it is a separate piece. Like a lot of there's the Corbot, which is the truck, the cab, and you can transform him separately, and then you can take pieces off of the tanker to make him like a beefed up bot, and then you can add the battle tanker to him to give him like some like super mega weapon.
A BMFG.
Okay. Yes.
So the actual tanker isn't like a base or anything like that. It's just a separate large BFG.
It ends up being like a backpack with like two giant cannons that he holds onto with his arms.
Okay.
It's one of those multi-purpose ones where it can be that giant backpack gun missile base thing, or a separate like the original G2 Laser Prime had, just a little weapons base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and for a line that was completely developed around the G2 Prime mold, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I still want to get the Year of the Goat G2 Prime. It's one of those things that I'd like to get. I just don't have the ability to right now. But just the G1 Prime. The G2 Prime. Looks neat. I'd like to check it out.
I agree. It's just the ridiculous price that they have it for.
Yeah.
It is extremely expensive, and also the hot pink missiles. They just throw me off.
You know what? I like the coloring of it. I don't care that it looks like UT Prime and hot pink missiles. I can deal with that. For the Prime, now the Soundwave, I'm not too keen on the clear and orange. I mean, it's something. It's not something for me, but
I'm just not understanding the whole bronze thing on everything. I love the clear. That's just freaking awesome. If it was just
I still say, until someone comes out and corrects me, I still say it's got to be some coloring that has to do with a Chinese thing. I mean, year of the something.
Because I remember with the Dark of the Moon, Angel Wing Prime, he was the red trailer and Dragon Tempo on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that thing looked cool. I didn't want to buy it, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
It's just my nephew had that for Christmas. It's just a big hunk of plastic. It's a brick. So when I saw that, what was that?
I was going to say, I have the San Diego version of that.
Cool. How was that? How was that different from the regular one?
I think the only difference was a sticker sheet and the box, because I don't think there was much Tampo difference between the two, or plastic coloring from the two.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I'd say what I got, but I basically got the same stuff you guys did. My Megatron, I got all of Menasor. So thank you, Eddie, for Menasor. Everything, all those guys I got from him.
I can't wait to get Menasor.
Yeah.
Oh, you Blackjack.
That's true. I'll get him from you as soon as we can, but no hurry on him, of course. But anyway, so really, I'm not going to do anything for me. The only thing I will mention is also Warrior Class Grimlock, because I had a $10 coupon for Toys R Us, and I'm not going to pay $14 for these guys, but I'll pay $4 for them. So. And he's worth it for $4. He's worth it for 10. He's worth it for 12. He's not worth it for 14. $2 is the limit.
Toys R Us has our deluxes at $16.99.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's why I don't buy deluxes for Toys R Us. I usually do it at Target.
Yeah. But anywho, so that's it for me. So unless I'm missing anything, I'm gonna jump over to Eddie. Man, do what you want. Did you get anything? Like personally that you want to talk about, or is it just?
I bought a Jetfire on eBay for $22.50. They had that Hasbro half off deal. I can afford that. It's actually cheaper than my wholesale cost, so why not?
That's
Are you gonna buy the My Little Pony repro labels for him?
I did not know there were My Little Pony repro labels. But I wanted to try to convert one of them to one of the Robotech VFs. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
Josh, you did that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I have Jetfire with that set on it.
What's that? Do you have to use Japanese one? to do that?
Yeah, I did. Well, you don't have to.
Okay.
There's no need to have to. And they designed it around the American set. I actually think there's a paint app on the Japanese one that hangs out from the stickers. I'm not sure if it would do that on the American version. I have yet to do that comparison side by side, but yeah, that set does look amazing on Jetfire. I just bought a Japanese one to do it with, because I wanted the not chromed pieces for that robot.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Forgot about it.
What y'all thought if they had, instead of just painting Megatron, you just got me thinking, instead of painting Megatron this metallic silver, what do you think would have happened had they chromed him?
Paul would have bought them all.
Yeah, at least 20 of them.
It'd have been finger magnet heaven.
I'm actually kind of curious how the Japanese one's going to look. Takara's version of Megatron should be out pretty soon.
What is that going to run?
I don't know. Check the site. Let me see.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even think I have it on the site yet because I'm a slacker.
I would imagine. Yeah, I'd imagine if it was up there, we'd be looking at it.
I don't have it up. Well,
I actually haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen that thing anywhere. Actually, now that I think about it,
I haven't seen any kind of advertisement for it. Oh,
it's like LG-13, I think.
I haven't seen any silhouettes of it yet.
I've only seen pictures of the U.S. one as the Japanese one. It's $70.
$70. That's
I've
better be a lot of paint.
45.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be that much of a difference to warrant the price difference. We'll see.
I mean, that 5 Aerobot set is probably going to be worth it.
The what?
The aerial bot set from Takara.
Oh, yeah. The aerial bot set's going to include Slingshot.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they come out with their decos for the Stunticons and for. I don't know if they're going to do anything different for Devastator or if they're going to do a Devastator, but that should be.
I'm sure they will.
So
you watch. Takara's going to release Devastator with a sticker sheet, and yeah, everybody's going to flip.
Isn't the difference usually like Takara would either do toy accuracy and Hasbro does the show accuracy, or is it vice versa?
I think it varies. They just have to do something different. With the Henkei stuff, they had all the chrome parts, and Hasbro never had any of the chrome. And now I think it's kind of reversed. The Hasbro ones have looked really good, so I can't imagine how Takara will top it. But they will. They always do.
They find a way.
Yeah. Well, as for new stuff, this is only a Transformer show, so I'm trying to think.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm all for. We already talked about Marvel Legends, so I'm all for talking about whatever. Because what was the funky robot that was running like $500, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's a little much."
The Armorauders.
Yeah.
So Don Figueroa, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He used to do the Transformer comic books, and he left Transformers to do another thing, and this is one of his new projects. And they're doing the toys, and from what I hear, the toy is amazing. I have not seen it personally, but all the reviews have looked pretty good, and so we got offered some of them, and I will put them on the site as soon as I stop being lazy.
Really? So you are getting some in?
Yeah, I'll get. I ordered a few. I want to test it out. There has been like a lot of requests for it, but it's not one of those things. It's not like the Combiner Wars Devastator. That thing, yeah. Pre-orders for that and Leader Class Megatron, Ultra Magnus are up, and those have been doing really well. I think we're going to sell out by Monday.
Wow.
When I'm officially supposed to announce.
I'm looking forward to that. Both of those.
So yeah, and I'm hoping the shipment comes early. We've been actually getting pretty lucky with the Combiner Wars. Oh, that's what came in. Wave 2 of the deluxes came in and I think we're sold out of Air Raid, and we have some other. We still have the other Stunticons left. So that's been doing really well. All the combiner stuff has been pretty good.
What
And
about
I'm just waiting. Sorry.
Real quick, what about the Legends wave with the repaint of
Power Glide?
Power Glide?
yeah, Powerglide? Thank you very much. Are we looking at like 2 or 3 months away from that being out?
I think so.
The release date is April everywhere for that wave.
April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize it was coming that quick.
The release dates are kind of not so great. So the only release dates that I ever trust are Takara's. Hasbro's been off. I don't know. Their release dates maybe for Walmart and Target. For me, it's whenever my distributor says he has them. And sometimes I get them before Target, sometimes we don't. So it's kind of hit or miss. And but Takara, when they say it's on April 9th, it's coming April 9th. See, I don't think anything else big has come out.
Well, what I keep looking at is my pre-orders that I have, and I keep thinking, oh man, when am I going to have to worry about paying for these things when they hit?
Yeah.
I know, like that DX9, what's his Astro Train? Basically,
Chiga.
Not Astro Train. What is his name?
Chiga.
Chiga?
Like
That's
chugga,
not what a
chugga,
train-
chugga, chugga, choo choo.
No, that's not what they sound
That
like.
is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to him, but I also got to figure out, payments of different things. That's one thing that I have to keep track of, especially right now, since I'll be looking for a new apartment here in a little bit. Can't be dropping money on plastic when I need to find a place to live. Because, that's kind of important. Because if I don't have a place to live, then where am I going to put my toys?
Exactly.
My house.
Whoa, hold on a second. Let's not jump to conclusions here.
You can put them in the store. I'll put price tags on them.
Yeah, jerk. I better get some hella compensation for that.
Yeah, dude, no problem. I'll give you a percentage.
Yeah,
Consignment
right.
toys. Yeah, there we go.
No, what he'll do is he'll give me credit in his own store.
Yeah, we can work something out.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that DX9 Sugar. That thing looks cool. Even though I'm afraid of transforming it, I think it still looks pretty cool.
I had the test. So we actually lost the test shot. The test shot was on the way to the reviewer, and FedEx lost the package.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no!
Yes, I know. I'm in pain, along with a lot of other stuff. But when I messed with it, it was actually I thought it was pretty good. There was a few points on the jet or the shuttle mode that I was a little worried about. There's definitely parts where you have to be a little more careful. You could easily break them off or kind of mess up your toy, but I thought it was. I spent an hour trying to get that thing together, and it kept me busy. I liked it. I didn't bother with the robot mode. I gave up.
Yeah, I still like you posting a picture on there. I don't know what it was for, but you posted a picture of it, in its disheveled state, and the next thing you put, oops, I didn't mean to post that picture, and then you posted the right one. Everybody's like, "What is this?"
Yeah, I was debating on whether or not to spend time on it, and I decided to do it.
Yeah. Well, I got one more question for you as far as business is concerned. What is so DX9 also is showing the not Rodimus. I don't know what they call that one either.
Carry,
that's right. Yeah,
come up with these names, but yeah, I think he carries the Matrix. I don't know.
That's what I've heard too. So, is that like? I don't know if I'm going to be interested in that guy. He looks interesting, but there's certain things about him that just throw me off.
So they're starting to do more of a Studio Ox design. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's one of the Japanese studios that does a lot of the artwork for Transformers, and they put a lot more detail and more kind of an anime style to them. and I think MMC's doing their Mirage similar to that, and then DX9 is trying to do that as well. So you'll see the robots with a lot more detail, and I don't know. It's just going to look more. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just going to look a little different than what you expect from the cartoon.
Okay, so if you're looking at it, look at it through the eyes of an art style being used as opposed to straight up G1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just going to be more detail and a lot more like panel lines and everything like that.
Okay.
I'm
That
personally
does
pretty
help.
excited for Carrie because I don't have the MP Rodimus, so it'll be a nice fill-in in my collection.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at that and I was reading and listening to people talk about it, and I was kind of getting down on it, but thinking about it like that, like it's an artist's take on Rodimus, that helps me out. That helps me appreciate what it is, as opposed to what it looks like.
Do you guys have the Generations books? I don't the little Transformer Bible.
I don't.
You don't? Okay. Well, you
don't.
should pick one up, or I can bring one to the next meetup. Or on the back of the book, there's the G1 artwork, and then a lot of the Studio Ox artwork. I think it's Studio Ox. It's really detailed, so you can take a look at it, and you'll see the more. It's kind of a souped up version of the Transformer.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if you bring that, I'll definitely take a look at it. I've heard about it, but I don't have it in. I don't have that. So I'm trying to catch up on all the old books that are out there that I've missed over the years, because I know there's a lot. So, but all right. Well, cool. Open comments. Anybody want to say anything? Anybody want to talk about anything? Because after this, this is the part where I say "Adios, mofos" is what I put down on the topic list. So, any thoughts? Anybody? Yep. That's usually silence. Usually means no. So, by the way, I figured out a Grimlock mode for the Rid Grimlock, so you can have his wings. The problem is you have to use his dinosaur arms as his regular arms, and it kind of looks dumb. So never mind. I'm not going to post this.
Post it.
But still, he's got wings. Grimlock with really tiny arms. I still like this toy though. He's stupid looking, but I like him. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Eddie, Cole, Paul, Josh. Thanks for coming on the podcast and listening to other people blather. And for those who are actually listening to this, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you listened all the way through. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'm going to put this up on TexasTron page. And Cole, whenever things get up, we'll throw it on other pages. I'll let you, be in charge of that or what have you. But yeah, thanks very much. And I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes and go watch the new cartoon of Rid, at least do my best for what actually recorded. So that came on tonight, so I'm excited about it. But guys, if y'all want to say adios, go for it. Now's your time.
Adios, mofos.
See you guys.
Adios.
Thank you guys.
Good talking
Thanks for
about
having me on.
the combined meeting, and looking forward to doing it again.